Hey guys, Samurai here, back in with another episode of the Pokemon Sword and Shield series, Crown Zenith. In the last episode, Ash, Chase, Elane just finished their gym battle against Melanie and Gordy. Now they're getting ready for the Turchester Cup, also known as the Univet Invitational. Elane is kind of nervous going into a tournament by herself, as in the Unite Cup she was with both Ash and Chase, but now she's doing it all alone. Ash and Chase do reassure her and tell her that her skills are valid and that she'll do perfectly fine. In fact, Ash says it's been a while since he's been in a solo tournament like this, and they used to have tournaments all the time like this in Univet, and he says he kind of feels nostalgic. But the matchups are set. It's Ash vs Dune, Peonia vs Marnie, Rinto vs Kent, Hop vs Clara, Lucas vs Avery, Elane vs Yue, Chase vs Corvin, and Stranger B, a new competitor in the league, versus Cher. The other two named competitors, Clara and Avery, were trained by Master Mustard, which gave them a bit of an ego. They're kind of telling off everybody there, and it's getting on everybody's nerves. Ash immediately goes to challenge this and tell them that just because you were taught by somebody strong doesn't make yourself strong. However, they immediately double down, and this enrages Ash a bit more, as he's never met somebody so annoying. However, Lucas recognizes Avery from prep school, this embarrasses Avery, and then they leave. Now the matches can get underway. Ash vs Dune is a pretty simple matchup. Ash does incredibly well, using his Pokemon to their full advantage, and just overall, due to his experience and overall better battling style, he ends up beating Dune, but in a friendly way. They end off the match on good terms. Next is Peonia vs Marnie. Now Marnie has fought Peonia before and she was overwhelming, but she doesn't plan to make the same mistake again. The battle starts out very brutal, with both Pokemon using brute force in an incredible way, but Peonia does manage to win this, but by a hair. However, they still ended on good terms, saying that she was putting her through the ringer. Next is Rinto vs Ken, and in typical Rinto fashion, he ends up winning very precisely and very easily. With his Toxtricity, he's able to subdue Kent with zero issue. Next is Hop vs Clara. Now Clara is immediately cocky, teasing Hop about being the champion's little brother, but what she doesn't know is that Hop has gone through some serious training in the wild area and is kinda new and improved. Hop immediately decimates her without even a thought. Everybody is cheering because at this point they all got tired of Clara and Avery's banter, and they like to see one of them taken down a peg. In the next division, we have Lucas vs Avery. Now, Avery immediately taunts Lucas, however, Lucas is taking a while to come out. Once Lucas finally appears, everybody's surprised to see Lucas in the Dragon Team costume. This is the team that Raihan's gym uses. Now, when everybody questions why Lucas is wearing that, Lucas basically explains that he wasn't sponsored by Leon, as Leon could only sponsor 4 individuals. However, he had a talk with Raihan after the Unite Cup, and Raihan offered to sponsor him, which is why he's wearing the new uniform. It just took a while to get delivered. However, he goes to battle Avery, and this is when he sends out Beartick. Beartick is an incredibly powerful Pokemon and easily decimates Avery with a sheer cold. Both Ash and Rinto look more excited than ever. When Elane questions this, they basically say that fighting a Pokemon as strong as Beartick would be fun no matter if they won or lost. Next is Elane vs Yue. Now, Yue does a pretty good job of giving Elane a challenge, but Elane is able to overcome it and beat her just the same. Next is Chase and Corvin, and while this match is very close, being a Pikachu vs Raichu clash, Chase ends up winning the day and going to the next round. Finally is Stranger B and Chair. Now, while Chair tries to make some banter between Stranger B, he doesn't say much and easily decimates her without a thought. In the next round, we have Ash vs Peonia. Now, Ash vs Peonia was very exciting to watch, as both trainers immediately start out heavy hitting, and it was a very fun match to see, as both trainers are friendly and extroverted in that way. They gave them both a challenge. Next is Rinto vs Hop. Now, Rinto does some teasing on Hop not being Leon's little brother, but noticing the training that he's done, basically telling him that the training that he's done wouldn't amount to anything because he would still lose here and he would never be able to surpass him. And in this situation, Rinto was kind of right, as Rinto immediately subdues him in a way that Hop didn't even see coming. Next is Lucas vs Elane. Now, Elane's kind of nervous, as Lucas is one of the strongest people here, but she held her head up high. Lucas sends out a Pokemon that we didn't know he had, being Pachirisu, this being his partner Pokemon. Pachirisu deals with Elane's Pokemon relatively quickly, however, Elane still had a fun battle and wants to battle Lucas again, with Lucas agreeing. Next is Chase vs Stranger B. Now, Chase can't shake the fact that this person reminds him of another battle style. The way he battles is just so familiar. But Chase ends up losing to Stranger B, as Stranger B was just stronger in this case. Next up, we have the semifinals, Ash versus Rinto. Ash sends out his Raboot, and Rinto sends out his newly evolved Gallade. Now, Gallade is easily able to subdue him without a thought. This is due to Raboot being cocky. Raboot was holding back and was trying to toy with Gallade. However, Gallade, being as pinpoint accurate as he does and having Rinto for a trainer, didn't take this too lightly and ended up decimating Raboot as he waited too long to use his full power. This actually gets Ash a bit angry, but we go to the other semifinal round, being Lucas versus Stranger B. Now, Lucas is having a minor bit of a trouble because he has no information on this guy. However, he is able to close the gap and beat Stranger B. Next is the finals, being Rinto versus Lucas. This is an amazing bout of strength and willpower. However, Rinto, believe it or not, is able to win. Everybody is shocked and surprised by this, along with just not being able to process the fact that Lucas lost. Ash, realizing that he's gotten weaker than both Rinto and Lucas in his eyes, basically has to have a word with Raboot. In the locker room, he kind of scolds Raboot for not using its full power, not in a way that is mean, but in a way that a parent would scold a child, basically telling them that they need to do better. But he still rewards Raboot and still says that he wants to make Raboot strong, as he can see the potential in it. Now we have the exhibition match between Rinto and Iris as promised. Rinto sends out Blaziken. This Blaziken has speed boost, and this is when Iris sends out one of her new Pokemon, being Goodra. Now, Goodra doesn't have a lot of battle experience, and Rinto uses that to his advantage, using speed boost along with close combat to get a lot of hits early on, and Iris can do little to counter this. She actually feels a bit pressured, and it actually gets to her. This results in Rinto actually winning. Now, with Raboot seeing that Rinto won, the guy who beat him, along with it being revealed that Lucas has a Hisui and Samurott, being the duat that Raboot had a rivalry with, Raboot promises to Ash that it will train just as hard and become one of his strongest Pokemon. Ash agreeing that he wants Raboot to become strong, and he grows a new resolve. They're all on their way to Spike Month now, and now this is where we end the episode. Did you guys enjoy this episode of Crown Zenith? It's the first episode of the new season, and I wanted to get the tournament underway. Let me know what y'all think. Samurai out.